Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Rachel Cooley. Thanks for joining me live on my page. Angela Roberts is going to be joining me in a moment, my wonderful sister goddess. Let's see if I can tag you. Guest request. Here we go. Add. Yay. I'm adding you, Angela. Thanks, everyone. We are here to talk about the angels and the miracles with the angels. Thanks so much for being here. We're adding you, Angela. It says adding. And while we're adding you in, let's do a prayer with the angels to clear our energy and help bring us present into the moment. Let's all take a deep breath in, gently exhaling out any stress, tension, or worries. Breathing in again, the elixir healing light and love of our angels. Exhaling out all that's no longer serving us. As we breathe in again, the magnificent love, light, and healing energy of our dear angels. And let's pray in. Dear God and dear angels, dear archangels, thank you so much for being so strongly present with each and every one of us now in this moment, throughout this day and this week and beyond. Thank you, dear angels, for encompassing and enveloping us from the tops of our head to the tips of our fingers to the tips of our toes with your unconditionally loving white light. Bringing us lots of love. Sorry, a call was just coming in. As we breathe in again, that beautiful light that our angels are beaming down upon us, and exhaling out all that's no longer serving us. We'll do two more like that. As we breathe in again, the love and the miracles, the protective healing energy of our dear angels, exhaling out all that is no longer serving us. Letting that go as we do one more like that. As we breathe in again, their healing, love, light, and blessings, and exhaling out all that's no longer serving us. Thank you, angels, for taking all that we just cleared up to God, to source, to the light, for cleansing, for purification, and for transmutation, and for blessing our life here today, blessing our technology and bringing Angela on. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for your help with that and for your miracles. We are truly, truly grateful. And thank you for sealing us again, dear angels, with your unconditionally loving white light, along with the protective royal blue and purple lights of Archangel Michael. And so it is. Amen. Okay, Angela, I'm going to try one more time to add you. So forgive my fingers on the screen, everybody. I'm going to click this. Angela, allow your viewers to request to join. Okay, I'm going to click yes. I'm enabling you to join. Angela. Whoop. Okay, I'm hoping that that'll work. Let's see. Yeah, allow your viewers to request to join as a guest. Yeah, I just did that. Okay. Okay, I hope you can join in, Angela. Angela and I are going to be talking about her wonderful experiences when she joined me for my talk. Yay! Wants to be in my video. Yes. Approve. I just approved you. And we're going to be talking about all the miracles that happened after she attended my talk. And we'll be talking about my upcoming all-day angel workshop this Saturday in Palo Alto, California, titled 6 Keys to Enhance Your Healing Practice with the Angels. For healers, whether you're new or you're established or you're just literally beginning and feeling guided to attend, all are welcome. So I'm hoping that you can join me, Angela. I just clicked OK to add you. And let's affirm that technology will work. Yeah, let's see. I know you're trying to join. Let's try this again. I'm going to go to the viewers of my viewer. I approved you. I'll preview again. It says adding. That's going to work this time. Yay, it worked. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my God. You look gorgeous, goddess.
Thank you. It's so great to be here. And thank you for the wonderful prayer to pull us in because, technology can be, But so
I know.
I'm just going to take one more breath.
Yeah, it worked.
In gratitude, and thank you for.
And gratitude. And thank you, angels, for surrounding us again in your white light, and for Michael bringing in your royal blue and purple lights to help our technology continue throughout of our wonderful time here together live this morning. We are so grateful, dear angels and Michael and all the archangels. And so it is.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's been pretty incredible since I came to your talk. So when I came to your first, I think, what, 2-hour talk in Palo Alto.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me the title of that one. Do you remember? 3 keys?
It's 3 keys to receive the 3 keys to receive divine guidance from the angels.
Okay. Yeah. So these 3 keys that you taught to receive divine guidance, it's interesting because I've been, and maybe many people who follow you and work with you are already spiritual, right? Or may have a spiritual practice, or may be coming into a healing practice that is a way of serving in the world that is kind of spiritual, or they feel like their healing process is kind of spiritual. That, I relate to all of that, being a massage therapist coming out of college, being a professional dancer, all of those things, and being very spiritual, I think, in my background, in my childhood, that, I think I was expecting miracles or having communications with spirit, or source, God, whatever we call it in our own traditions, since I was born, really, since I was very, very young, from baptism and all those things. But my background is I'm Catholic, and I rebelled it a lot. I rebelled with it a lot because it's very patriarchal, and so I rebelled for a long time and followed spirit where it was guiding me, and staying true to that direct experience. And that direct experience of the divine is absolutely essential. It is, right, the real experience of our spirituality versus dogma versus a spiritual text. I love spiritual text and it's wonderful, but there's nothing like the living spirit now. The sacred text for people who that was their direct experience, and that's really wonderful. And that we're meant to have a living experience now. And so for me, I went on this journey, this kind of prodigal daughter journey, and went through a lot of my own shadow journeys to discover what my medicine is to bring into the world. And I was always a dancer, and really was told very directly by spirit, when I was pursuing why am I here, what I got very clearly was dance and embodiment, and the body as the temple of the spirit is what I'm here to teach, and how to harness the power of that co-creative experience with all that is, with one another as human beings, with our family members, with nature, with all that is, to manifest reality. And excuse me. And so having that all happen in this temple body is really, this is where it all happens, in this beautiful temple body. And so I love every aspect of that, and love connecting healers with the power of bringing embodiment and awareness to this. Sorry.
That's okay.
To the temple.
You're in your body.
Yeah. Bringing awareness to the patient, to the person we're serving, of their temple body, and how they co-create inside of it, right? How everything works in unity inside ourselves and with each other. Ooh, it's gonna fall again. I'm gonna hang on to it. So, how interesting. So it's been interesting to come to your event, because I have been following guidance, and I think that many times we already feel like we are very in tune with guidance to some degree. But there was something about maybe that I hadn't dove deep enough into and recognized all of the support that was available to me. I mean, I found you very intriguing. We've known each other for many years, since 2009, since I first met you at Thrive Academy when I was working for them, helping holistic practitioners grow their businesses, and using the elements of nature, of course. So you can see how the path has had its steps, even for me. And following those steps is something that we know we need to do. We need to know what the next step is. And we need to be at peace with what we normally would be worrying about if we're trying to do it all on our own. We need to be able, when in your opening prayer, it's like we're releasing these worries to the angels. We're releasing it to something greater because it isn't where our focus needs to be to actually create what it is we want. So it's a way of like, I release this to something greater that knows the way in a way that I don't, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to get to see, because it develops our faith to follow these steps, right? And so we're not going to get to
Yes.
see, always know the path. In fact, it's even harder sometimes when you are given a grand vision, because it can feel
Mm-hmm.
very overwhelming to have a grand vision. And then to come back to you, I think you're a wonderful tool for that, for someone even who has had a grand vision of their practice, of how they're most supposed to serve in the world. Okay, I've got this grand vision. Now, what about the step by step experience
Yes.
and having the divine, having something that knows the whole vision, guiding me, and me being able to kind of surrender to that? So, when I came to your event, I came with a couple other holistic practitioners and coaches, and it was wonderful.
Yes.
And individuals who just are intrigued with and finding the fun and pleasure and miraculous connection with the angels in their lives. And it was a beautiful
Yes.
gathering. So what I learned there in those three keys allowed me to recognize immediately, and over the next couple days, just before the Lion's Gate opened, all the ways that the angels had been supporting spirit in communicating with me.
Beautiful.
Very particular angels. You really brought me so much clarity of who was really supporting me and available to me. It was really heartwarming. It was just amazing to think, oh my gosh, these people they're here to help me, and who am I? And they were just doing without asking. And hi, Miranda.
Yeah.
Hi, Miranda. Oh, I love.
Angela, I'm learning about this and loving it. Thanks for sharing. Yay!
Oh,
Miranda.
yeah, yeah. And her daughter Wendy and I have worked together. So
Fun.
yeah, and recreating her life. And it's really interesting because we I could see, oh my gosh, here are these messages. I've been receiving all these messages, and immediately when when I became clear who not almost didn't even matter which angels, but it was fascinating and wonderful to know, because I can have a more intimate relationship with those particular angels and their support for me.
Yes.
But I think the other thing was that I was overcome by the amount of guidance. I was blown away by the clarity that what you're teaching is the ability for us to see and recognize and have an intimate relationship with the people who have been divinely given the role of guiding us lovingly into every step. Right?
Yes. The angel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Completely, completely egoless,
yeah.
here to support us with everything on our path. And what a gift
Mm-hmm.
to have them guides.
Yeah, and the real power of it was like solidity, being able to be in total certainty. Because one
Yes.
of the things that keeps us from bringing what we desire or have been called to create in the world um, into form and into reality is our wavering nature, is our
Mm-hmm.
uncertainty, is our double-mindedness, is, oh, I'm not quite sure if this is going to work out. And it's really holding in unity with the divine the complete fulfillment of it's already occurred, and so it is.
Already.
And then
And so it
and
is.
then walking us through to discover how it is. And so you reminded me of that on a very deep level, and I could see my own wavering and where I had kind of lost my faith a bit in different areas. And so I could really see how powerful it was as an individual, a business owner, but also as a practitioner, that if I was, right, if I'm working with clients, one of the very best things I could ever do for them, with it, whether I'm helping with business coaching or with individual transformation and growth in their lives, is connect them and help them strengthen their connection to divine support and the angels in
Yeah.
particular. And so when I came to your workshop, and I had about a total epiphany, right, of everything that had been happening in my life. And over the next couple days, some amazing things happened. And I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to say, before I kind of go there, with what happened for me, but I wanted to give you a moment to do that.
Oh, I'm just loving your experience so far, and I'm just super excited to hear. And I'm sure Miranda and those watching later are excited to hear what miracles happen around the Lion's Gate for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll share some more about my upcoming event happening on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. So part of my work is for us to notice that all of creation is here to support us, and that there are
Yes.
natural rhythms inside and patterns inside nature that are designed by the creator to take us
Yes.
through,
Totally.
right? There's a natural pathway. There's rest, there's action, there's this divine union of the masculine and the feminine. Or you may, even if we're looking beyond labeling it to, active energy and rest energy, and, the yin and the yang. So,
You know,
right. So
yes.
having that there, and um, in teaching this, I am working with holistic practitioners and people who do workshops, and basically taking them into the embodiment exercises, helping them utilize embodied exercises and really vivid experiences in their workshops that help their participants, and those they're helping individually, have a more, like, really bring their epiphanies and their growth into their lives in an embodied way, so that they
Yeah.
feel the change, not just in the mind like a concept, but they begin to
Yeah.
embody a whole new way of being, through the temple body, the wholeness of the temple body. And so my mother has been, so I've
Yes.
been looking at these angel messages, right? And we're right around the Lion's Gate opening, and my mother had given me this gift for a sacred dance retreat. And so I knew that
Going
that,
to,
right,
yeah.
was a message. And so I've been putting off answering this message for a long time, because I think many times I think my mother is very biased. She loves me very much.
Yes, of course,
And
of
she loves
course.
spirituality. So, right. So she's going to send me, of course she wants me to grow in my spirituality. So I just did not get, until I came to your event, that was spirit, because she kept telling me again and again. And so here's this repetition of a message. So I finally go, and it's at, a Benedictine abbey, and which is,
Mm.
my mother is, like a monk in the world, called an oblate, although she has 6 children and a beautiful family. And she sends me here, and she's been here many times, and I've been there once before. And there's this amazing man named John West, who's, the director of the Valyermo dancers. So the name of the abbey is Valyermo. And I went, and he also has been called, in a Christian tradition, in a Catholic tradition too. He's been an oblate also, which means you teach the sacred texts and connect people with their living embodiment of the sacred text. And
Beautiful.
right, which is so cool. And then he's been doing that for about 45 years. And he's been a dancer this whole time, performing in learning some of the same movement styles that I have in my life, like Jose Limon's technique, and some others that are very spiritually based, where we actually embody the scriptures themselves and stuff like that in our performances. And some messages came during that, that were out of nowhere. He did not know me before. I only danced with him a couple of days, and he invited me to come to a Sacred Dance Guild gathering, which, the way that he said it, I just knew to some degree, after I had gone to your class, that it wasn't him who was speaking. I knew that it
Mm.
was an angel, it was spirit speaking through him, through the way he was
Yes.
speaking to me, because the way that he was speaking was different than how he had spoken to me all weekend. So he's willing to be a temple body and to be the voice of spirit,
Wow.
right? So he was able to channel spirit and bring me a very clear, direct message. And so that one happened, and then So I knew what my next step was to go to the Holy Spirit Retreat Center, to the next Sacred Dance Gathering. And he's been called also to help reconnect us in through the scriptures to, I'm going to hold on to this camera a little more so I'm not wobbling around quite so much. Um, to look into the scriptures and find the divine feminine and really flush out, why has she been missing? Where in the traditional Hebrew language does she exist? And starting uncovering that and bringing it back fully into the church. And it's just absolutely beautiful, and a movement that's happening all over the world, as we know. And so I just think it's so lovely to have this divine masculine person who's completely
Yeah.
dedicated, in and using movement too. So I love that connection with him. But I think it's, here it is. Creator sent me through messages to the other person inside my own faith tradition who is doing the same work I am, and I wasn't searching it out. That's incredible.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
Connected me like that. It's amazing. And then the next step came to go to the Holy Spirit Retreat Center, which is great, which is my next step in my growth of my business, really, in being of service in
Perfect.
this way, because that's where holistic practitioners go to hone their skills. Like, you could do a wonderful workshop there. I'd be excited to do one with you there. And yeah, and so I came home and knew I'd gotten this message. And the other message I received, my mother's friend, my mother called her friend, and who's also Catholic, and she said, my mom said, "Oh, my daughter is going to Valiermo," and she said her friend put her hand on her chest, on her heart, closed her eyes, and said, "Hmm, hmm, may Mary, the Virgin Mary, wrap her in her mantle," is what she said.
Wow.
And my mother was not talking about Mary. My mother was not, right? Just out of the blue, this woman says this. And she said, "That's the message for your daughter." And I was like, okay, wow, interesting. And so when I was there in Valiermo, also um, we connected deeply to the divine feminine movement and Mary, and I revisited who Mary is, and one of her amazing roles is being the Queen of the Angels, the Queen of Heaven. She's the Queen of the Angels. She's the Queen of Grace, um, and her role is incredibly powerful. And my own mother was healed of breast cancer through doing a novena, to Mary, and also working together in some of the things that we use, that I use in my work with prayer and embodied prayer. And my younger brother had a healing in his kidneys through a novena, which is a
Wow.
devotion to the Rosary, and asking Mary to intercede and pray with us to the divine, to the Creator. And my oldest
Wow.
brother, who has brain damage, had grand mal seizures like epilepsy, and he was healed of those through a novena, a
Wow.
90-day novena. And so this is my childhood, right? And then here Mary comes up again in my days today. And I thought, oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so there's something about it, devotion here. I'm being called to devotion. And I remembered, like, oh gosh, I think I did a devotion to Mary when I was much younger and have forgotten. But so I come home, and then immediately the next day, Sophia Tome, who is a dear friend of mine, of Temple Body Day, uh, jumps on her Facebook Live, and she's doing a piece on devotion. And
Oh,
there's
perfect. Amazing time.
the angels again.
Yes.
I always watch at 10
Yes.
o'clock. She's a dear friend, right? We have very
Oh,
parallel journeys right now. We're both serving,
yes,
right, the divine feminine in this way. And
absolutely.
yeah, so I see these messages. Here's another message about the divine feminine and devotion. So then that next day, Tuesday, a couple days before the Lions, I think it's, yeah, a couple days before the Lions Gate itself, I just go into an entire day of devotion, spiritually.
Wow.
And so I did the rosary a good portion of the day, connected with the angels and called them in, and really accepted their support in my life and dove a bit deeper into the things that you taught me. and then just really open and allowed the support, and came to true much more clarity about what I needed to be doing and
Beautiful.
being of service. So I really, in this point of launching and offering the certification for Natural Rhythms Conscious Dance, which is very similar to the Angel certification, right? And
Yes, we're both part of these certification
yeah,
programs.
and they're amazing. And what they're for is for healers, right? What your work is for healers, for people like me who are business owners, who are spiritual. And my work is too, and we both are of service to healers. And so I just like called in and just imagined the healers coming, and just got whoever it is that I've developed to this point to serve, open the doors, and I
Yeah.
just see them coming in. The women are coming and feeling their energy and living in that fulfillment, and really releasing all of my worries to the angels and letting them, asking them to like send the message out, right? And within maybe a day, I got an email from Natural Rhythms about a woman who was interested in the conscious dance program. And
Amazing.
oh yeah, just immediately. And then I set a vision clarity session with her for her vision for using movement and embodiment in her workshops. And we chat, and she's like, "Oh, this is amazing. I'm definitely doing this." And she already knew even before we talked. And I was like, "Wow, this is amazing." And then of course, we dove deeper into spirit and allowed her vision to come forth. And then I talked to her about, hey, we could do that. What we could do together is we could take the program that you're going to teach, and we're going to bring embodiment forth. We're going to create embodied exercises for your workshop and help you use the
Yes.
wisdom of nature as a teaching tool to help you have more content to teach to support the topic so it's easier to teach, and have a structure for accelerated learning and all these cool things that make everything more effective, just like working with the angels, right? Things that bring
Yes.
people's dreams into form more easily. And I said, okay, so this is kind of what I see for you. She said, yeah, that sounds amazing. That would totally serve me and what I need. And I said, well, if you'd like to make a decision, the pricing or whatever of support runs through the end of the Lion's Gate. And then she just moved immediately into wanting to make the decision inside the Lion's Gate, and how important that is, because that's part of what I teach is sacred timing. It's like when the universe is
Yes.
here to support us, it's now. Spirit says now, right?
Now.
I will
Yes.
qualify you, my. You don't
Yes.
need to already be qualified. You don't need to already be, that the spirit calls us, and then it qualifies us through its guidance. And so when we think we already,
Completely. Always.
right? And the angels are really there to help us through every step with the divine. And so I loved your workshop, and it changed things dramatically for me, not only in the results and not feeling so stressed about how is this all supposed to work with the business end, how am I going to reach people? And yes, I did take business steps, right? We both, we've
Yes.
got to put our flyers out there. We've got to do our Facebook Live videos.
We've got to give it steps to let people know how to find
Yeah.
us.
And so I'm excited to
Right.
see to come this Saturday. So I had
Yes.
such a powerful experience that I wanted to, jump on with you and share with people, just, wow, if you're a healer and a business owner, someone in your life who just, you've got, things are going well, or maybe you're even challenged with, gosh, I'm feeling the burden of being a lot of burden around being a healer. And gosh, is this person going to
Yeah.
get better? And what if it doesn't work out? And, just there can be so many things when we're called to be serve in a way that can be relieved through the spirit. And to really know how to do that and let the angels support us, and how can they? And I think also those pieces of the more advanced healers who've been doing it for many, many years, that, I've been doing business coaching for many, many years. Right, we need to prosper, and sometimes we can be at the next level of expansion or challenge in our business, and it's just kind of
Yes.
beyond us. It's kind of like it's outside of our familiar world, right? The way of working.
Right.
And so,
Totally.
and or we may have been, in service for a very long time and finding that we're exhausted, or having some challenges that just we can't quite figure out. We've done our best, but we can't quite figure it out. That I just invite you to come and join us on Saturday. Rachel has an amazing day. We have a day.
Day,
Yeah,
yes.
and where you're going to teach 6 keys, right?
Yes, 6 keys to enhance your healing practice with the angels, whether you are just starting out as a healer, which encompasses so many modalities, right? This could be for massage therapists, somatic healers, pranic healers, Reiki, counseling, spiritual counseling, psychology, and there's so many
Coaches,
ways it can encompass,
health
or coach, or you
coaches,
feel to come. What was that?
health coaches.
Health coaches, yes. And this is going to be in Palo Alto, California, in Silicon Valley at High Health Yoga Studio from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. this Saturday, the 17th. And what I'll do is in the comments, I'll put the link so you could connect with me. Actually, you can even on my page here, just private message me for more information and we can get you registered. It's a full scholarship event. All I'm requesting is a deposit to save your spot of $100, and you'll get that back at the door to secure your seat. And we have about 8 seats left that day, this coming Saturday, the 17th in Palo Alto. Come join us. Angela will be there as well.
Yeah, yeah, and and I came to a 2 hour and it was fantastic and I got a lot of pieces. But I think a day like this, like for those who really um, need a big shift, to be able to have this much time with Rachel is amazing, and for it to be a scholarship is incredible. It's a very intimate setting so that you can have a lot of personal attention, and it's just might be a
Yes.
very critical moment for you. So think of the timing of what's going on for you as a healer, as a practitioner, as a coach. Do you have a client who is struggling a lot? And it seems like whatever you're doing, just you're not quite sure what to do with them, or even yourself. You're hitting a wall, you're finding it, you're not sure how to move through and on to what it is you're called to, and you really need some help. Having more ease and grace in your experience, come and join us. It's a scholarship.
Yeah.
It's a scholarship,
Yeah.
and it will be an amazing day. Whatever you take from it, I know is going to create amazing changes for you. And I get to be in your lovely presence, Rachel. There's something really about a living transmission that when we're around someone who has the faith and the grace within them because they have been living in this truth for so long and the power of this support, you really are able to feel the vibration and the energy of that and then match it, which is what embodiment's
Yeah.
about, right? It's like you and I are a really
It is.
fun combination of like feeling. What we'll be able to do is be in Rachel's presence and be able to take that vibration of trust and energy and feel it in our own being. That is
Yes.
that is just priceless, and it can only be done in person. So come join us, check it out. We'll put the info in the link, and I just thank you, Rachel, so much for
Thank you.
connecting me to just an incredible source of support, and I'm excited to see uh, all even more deeply all the ways that I'm being supported, and knowing how to receive that even more.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm just so happy to share the love and the blessings that I've received for 20 years now, really over 20 years, really my whole life from the angels. It's been 20 years since I've been on my angel path. And I just am so excited to share that. And it really, you're talking about the embodiment and the cellular transmission that happens from being in person, as Sage Levine talks about. I really feel that it just helps uplift your vibe, your energy, and bring you a lot of hope,
Yeah.
bring you a lot of peace of mind, and wonderful tools to add to your practice or to add to the practice you're just starting, even if it's for you. It's all perfect. If you know you're feeling guided to go, please reach out to me, private message me, and I'll put the link for more info to that below here. And I would love to support you.
Yeah. And check out Rachel in general, just her background. She is an expert. She knows just a total devotion and dedication to being of service and knowing who the angels are and what's available to us and all the years that you dedicated to this. I mean, I think of when I met you in 2009, and you've just become such an amazing woman and guide and teacher and yeah, loving example. So thank you so much. And we'll see some of you this Saturday. And again, private messenger so that we can get you on the list and have you with.
Yeah, get your list and registered, and we look forward to seeing you there.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For everybody. Oh, hearts. Yay. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Bye-bye. Angel blessings.